Hey everyone, it's Nicole Mitchell. This message is brought to you by the Mermaid Cup. I just have to point out, because it's gonna look goofy that I'm drinking from it during our video, and I recognize that. I think John got this for me when we lived in South Korea because he knows Ariel's my favorite princess, and this is the best part. Are you ready to make waves? All right, cheesiness aside, I'm super excited about this video because, so just a little bit ago, I was laying down in bed trying to rest. I felt really tired and I turned on some music to meditate. And as I was meditating and resting, the content for this video came to me and I got so excited about it and so passionate. I wanted to stop and jump out of bed, come downstairs, write down my content, record the video, and I had to stop myself because the whole point that I meditate is to be still. I spend so much of my life, if not every moment of my life, hustling, trying and doing and being and achieving and accomplishing and finishing, and it's exhausting, it's overwhelming. And so meditation is really, really hard for me to push the pause button on life and to go and be still for a period of time. So even though I was super excited about this content in this video, I knew that I had made a commitment to just be still. And I had to trust that after my time of rest and after this time of meditation, that message and that content would still be there within me and that I could still go back downstairs and write it and create it. But I want to share this with you because if you're like me, I like the idea of meditating. A lot of people I know personally, and I feel like a lot of famous people I follow, all rave about meditation. Everyone who does it seems to love it. Books I read are always telling me to do it, and I love the theory of it. But just like how I said, I always feel there's this pressure to get so much done during a day that to be still for 20 minutes seems like a luxury, if not irresponsible, of me to not do something for 20 minutes. And so recently I was having a session with my life coach, and at the end of it, he sent me a meditation video saying, hey, I think you should really listen to this and get centered. And I had shared with him about how there are points in my life where I have deep peace about something, and I just know it's going to be true. I know it to be true. I know it's going to happen, whatever this voice is telling me. But then as the day unfolds, chaos and stress and worries all kind of start eating away at that peace. And by the end of the day or the week or whatever that season is, I panic. I start to panic, like maybe I was wrong. Maybe this feeling I had was completely rootless and baseless. And so that's where my life coach Stefan was saying, like, that's when you spend 5 minutes getting centered, and that can hold you and anchor you for the rest of the day. So I listened to part of that soundtrack. It's a kind of a long one, and I liked it. I thought it was really beautiful. But I did it that one time, and then, back at my life. Well, then John, I sent it to John. So I'm like, John, I think you'd really like this. It sounds really beautiful. And he started doing it, and he did it one time, and he was hooked. And so he started meditating on almost a nightly basis. Like I would come home from class, and I'd see him on the couch, like completely in the zone with his headphones on, laying down, soaking up the music and meditating. And I saw immediately, you guys, within a few days of him doing this deep internal shift in him. And I remember thinking, like, okay, because it's changed someone who's so intimate in my life, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try this whole meditating more than one time in my life kind of thing. And so I got that music and went upstairs, and I always usually listen off my laptop, but John's like, no, you need headphones. Like, you need to like surround and inundate yourself with the sound. And so I got my headphones and I listened to it for over an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. And I just I think when I've done meditation before, I'm still too tense, but this time I just opened myself and let myself melt. And you guys, I just wept listening to this meditation track. And because as that music was playing, I was speaking affirmations over myself, and I was telling myself, I am worthy of love, I am worthy of beautiful things, I'm worthy of happiness, I'm worthy of joy. And I did over 1,000 affirmations. And as I was doing this, I could tell like there was a deep wound deep inside where I thought I'm not worthy and I'm scum and I don't deserve anything good. And as I was speaking these affirmations, it was getting to this core deep darkness within me. And it was so healing. And I just kept crying and crying and crying like, oh my gosh, like my whole life I can tell like I've always operated from a place of guilt and shame and feeling icky and never enough and unworthy. And here with this like meditation and this music, it was transforming that and saying, no, Nicole, you are worthy. You are whole. You are good. You have so much to offer. And it just was this deep, deep change within me. And it wasn't a magical one-time thing, but I could tell like I want to do more of this. I want to meditate and feed myself truth so that I can show up to the world the healthiest, truest version of me and not be hustling for my worth, but operating from a place where I own my worthiness. And as I was doing today's meditation and I was laying there in bed, the aha moment I had is that something that a tape I tell myself all the time in my head is, Nicole, you have no wisdom. You are not wise. How can you be wise? You're 33 years old. Like, you've not lived long enough to be wise. There's so many more wise people out there who are older than you, different life experiences than you. So you, Nicole, need to go out there and find the wisdom because it's not in here. And that's what I do. I read blog posts, articles, I listen to podcasts, I watch YouTube videos, TED Talks. I'm like, okay, wisdom, I need wisdom. Because I don't know, I have this deep hunger for wisdom. I want to live my life from a place of wisdom. And so I'm always searching and just trying to like find everyone else's wisdom from their stories and hoping at some point I will have filled whatever void is in here that's lacking wisdom. Like, aha, I've now arrived. I am now wise. And as I was meditating, what it does for me is like it forces you to stop, right? To be still. There's no hustling when you're meditating. And what I found is when I'm quiet long enough, and especially with this track I listen to, I found this deep cavern of wisdom inside of me that began to bubble to the surface. And then all of these brilliant, wise thoughts and sayings started coming to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to write these down. Like, this gets me super excited. I want to blog about these, and I want to share these with the world, and I want to create videos about these. And I could not believe the wisdom that was coming from within me. Like, I felt I was tapping into something so ancient yet true. And so that's when that aha moment is like, Nicole, yeah, there is wisdom out there, but there's wisdom in here. Right here. And maybe that's not huge for you, but that was huge for me. Because again, I think it reminded me like, oh wait, I'm enough. Like, just me as I am, my whole flawed, beautiful being is enough. And I was excited about that. Like, oh my gosh, maybe my story has something to offer others. And so it reminded me of a quote I'm going to read to you. I went to a conference just a few weeks ago in Chicago, and one of the speakers, her story or her session was titled "Trying to Recover My Story," and she said this quote: "I spent so much time learning other people's stories that I didn't know my own." And I was like, "Oh my word, that is me." I spend so much of my time trying to hear everyone's experience and stories and wisdom that I don't even know my own story. I don't even know my own wisdom. I often don't know my own voice. And that's part of why I'm doing these videos, is it's a way of me holding myself accountable to find my voice and to use my voice. I have been so scared to say what I really want to say out of fear of disappointing someone or hurting someone or letting someone down or ruffling someone's feathers, that I've kept it and I've kept my voice in here. And now I'm like dying to share it with the world. And so these videos help hold me accountable to do that. So I think as I was thinking about this in bed meditating, and I was getting really, really excited, and it made me think of that one woman's quote about how we spend so much of our time trying to learn everyone else's story, everyone else's wisdom, that I think we convince ourselves we don't have a story worth sharing, we don't have any wisdom to offer. And after this time of meditation, I'm here to push back on that and say that's not true. I want to say that you are wise. Doesn't matter how young or how old you are. Age is such a joke. Like, We never feel old enough for wisdom, yet we never feel young enough to fit in, or what. Like, we always have all these issues around a number. It doesn't matter how young or old you are, you have so much wisdom to offer others. And you do have something valuable to share. And your story is worth knowing. Oh my gosh, I just think, I think a person's story, doesn't matter how boring or dull they think it is, I find it fascinating. I love people's stories. I find more wisdom and truth in people's stories than a lot of my academic books. So I just want to encourage you, right? And just like I'm trying to encourage myself, is your story is worth being shared, and your story is worth knowing, because all wrapped up into your story, whether or not you realize it, are nuggets of wisdom and truth. It's a gold mine. A gold mine. And so I want to encourage you to know that, and that you, just as you are, is enough. Just as you are enough. Inside of you right now in this moment is wisdom, is truth, is beauty, is a gift to offer this world. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, I'm going to share that meditation link below that John and I have been listening to over the past couple weeks, and encourage you to check it out, because I really agree with and value what my life coach Stefan says, is when we take, even if it's just 5 minutes, to center ourselves on what we know to be true, that can last us an entire day. When things start going awry and things aren't working out, and just the stress and chaos of life, and you need to like bring yourself back to an anchoring truth, you can bring yourself back to those 5 minutes you spent centering yourself through meditation. And if you might find yourself like me and John, like 5 minutes is not enough. Like, I went upstairs to lay down for like 15 minutes, and I spent 40 minutes laying there and just so at peace. I live with a lot of angst on a daily basis. I have a lot of worries, a lot of stress. Probably more my fault than anything. Like, I just carry it when I don't have to carry it. And when I spent those 40 minutes, I always leave my sessions thinking, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I feel incredibly connected to the higher power out there, whether you call that God, whether you call it the spirit, whether you call it the universe, whatever you call that source. During my times of meditation, I get so connected, and I feel held by that source. Like, I'm going to be okay. And so I want to end this video with a quote in this book by Frederick Buechner, The Remarkable Ordinary. I had to read it for a school this week. And at the very end, on the last page and a half of his book, he talks about when he was meditating. And he refers to a verse in the Bible about the everlasting arms, right? Frederick identifies as Christian. And so I want to read these last few sentences in this book, because they just like kind of capture how I feel during my meditation as well. He wrote, I was lying there in my bed with my full weight, every muscle relaxed, and it was as if I were held in those everlasting arms. Joy is knowing that that is true from your stomach, or I would say from your gut. Knowing that even though you see only through a glass darkly, even though lots of things happen, wars and peacemaking, hunger and homelessness, joy is knowing, even for a moment, that underneath everything are the everlasting arms. The day I read that was the same day I woke up. This was Thursday morning, and I had meditated the night before, at the last hour before I fell asleep, and I woke up with this quote: you are held in the arms of love, peace, and provision. And that would be the same day I'd read this quote that of Frederick Buechner, saying that underneath everything else, we are being held by the everlasting arms. So I hope that encourages you. I want you to realize how much wisdom you have within you, and I think, at least for me and John, tapping into meditation really helps us find that truth within ourselves, and to know that you are enough. You have so much to offer this world, and I want to encourage you to share your voice, share your story, share your wisdom, share your truth, share your beauty and your goodness with the world, because God knows we need more like that. We need more people like you sharing the passions and the visions that you carry within you. All right. Love you guys so much. Something I'm currently working on right now is Patreon, the website. I'm really excited because I have so many amazing people that you guys follow me, whether here on YouTube or on my blog, or on my other social media sites, and have been so encouraging, so supportive. And I want to provide you this opportunity to continue that support in another way if you want. So I will keep you posted on when my Patreon page is up and ready, so that we can continue working together. And lastly, if this video blessed you and you're interested in seeing more content like this, feel free to hit the like button and the subscribe so that you can stay up to date on the weekly videos I post. All right, guys, peace and love. You are enough. Bye.